It's time for. I can't even do it like that, yo. So, real quick before we even get the show started, man, sponsor. If you want to be a sponsor for an episode, man, just go ahead and give a donation. The link is going to be in the description of this show, of each episode. So, if you want to be named as a sponsor for the next episode, just leave a donation with a description. And we'll go for like that, man. So, I hope y'all enjoy this episode. Peace and love, yo.
What does that sound, you ask?
From the number one station, you come.
Welcome to the Rec Show podcast, a show dedicated to beat makers around the world. Kick back, relax with the host, Gldnmnd.
Yeah, what's good? What's good, everybody? Gldnmnd here, and welcome to another episode of The Rec Show, man. This is episode number 42. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. Right now you're listening to that boy Raz Fresco, man. This is Pocket Operations. It's called Sincerely Yours Instrumental, man. He just put out a PO33 KO entirely produced on a pocket operator by Teenage Engineering, man. Go to bakersclub.com. Yeah, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, man. You get the raps with the instrumentals, you know what I mean? I had to show love, man. I've been following them for, a little while now, man. I had to tap in, man, blast them out to the internet. So, y'all tap in with him too, man, alright? And he also has that joint with DiBiase as well, man. Alright, so, yeah, man, tap in, but let me get to it, man. We episode number 42. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. I hope y'all counting y'all blessings and not y'all's problems, man. Today, we are going from Japan all the way to Austin, Texas, man. Y'all already know it's South by Southwest already. But we hooking up with my homeboy, SUMA.wav, alright? SUMA.wav from Austin, Texas, man. Lo-fi producer, man. He's an engineer. He's a weightlifter. Man, he be doing it. He be fixing beat machines, all that stuff, man. So, yeah, man, we're gonna be back, man. Listen, hear from him, tap in with him, man. Stay tuned, man. Peace and love, yo.
This is SUMA.wav, and you're plugged into the Rec Show podcast.
We back, man. Yo, check it out. You're listening to a specially curated beat set by the one and only SUMA.wav, man. So, listen, we're going to get right into the interview right now. We're going to weave in and out with his music, and then we're going to go with some of the beat set as well. All right? So, we'll be back. Yeah. What's good, yo? What's good, Suma? Yo, so I like to start off with the interview just by going straight off the top, you know what I mean? For the beat heads and the internets that may not know you, go ahead and introduce yourself, you know, where you're from, what your name means, and, you know, how your name is created, and any associated collectives you might be associated with as well, you know what I mean?
Hi, I'm SUMA.wav. I'm a beat maker out of Austin, Texas. My friends call me Suma, mostly because it's my real name. I decided to go with Suma because I thought 4 capital letters looked cool together. I threw the .wav on the end for shiggles, but it stuck. It helps me stand out. I had to look it up. The name Suma generally means peace or serenity. It seems to fit the vibe. I'm most closely associated with the Pressing Matters crew out of Austin. I owe Ben and Zach a lot for putting me on.
Yo, that's a dope concept to come up with your moniker, man. Shout out to Pressing Matters. And yeah, we're going to get right into it. Keep it going, man. So how did you begin your journey into music and sampling? You know what I mean? Like, and I should ask this question first. Like, what's the one moment that sparked your interest into making your own beats and music? And then ask probably how'd you get into the journey? But, you know, I always ask this question, man. I just want people to know where you started from.
I started out messing with Ableton Live back in 2006. I was DJing at the time and I wanted to get into producing. I hardly made anything substantial though, even after watching a million YouTube tutorials. It wasn't until about 2018 when I got a hold of an SP404 that I started finishing beats. Sampling struck me as a fun way to make music. I kept getting surprised at how cool they sounded together, especially out of context. I was also hooked on digging for more. It was like a 24/7 treasure hunt.
Yo, I'm noticing like the SP44s really got people into their journey. I'm noticing that, like that trend as everybody I have on the rec show. Yeah, man, yo, that's Ableton. I can never get my head around Ableton. So if anybody has any like tutorials, as soon as I can get back to the States, man, I plan on hooking up with, you know, some of the community, man, that can maybe teach me something that, you know, maybe it's not computing in my head about Ableton Live, you know what I mean? Because it just looks like computer science class. Yo, I was mad lost, yo. But yo, anyway, so like, let me ask this. Can you recommend some must-see, read, or listen to items from our listeners on their journey in beats and music? And then, you know, it could be like documentaries, books, YouTube tutorials, podcasts, audio books, like anything that can help them learn and get them on their journey. Yeah, that way.
One of my favorite shows on YouTube is called Bad Gear. This Austrian dude takes poorly reviewed or generally hated equipment, gives it an honest review, and then makes really cool beat videos with them. It's a mix of like him roasting the equipment, as well as showing you that it doesn't matter what gear you use, you can still make great music. There's a really great book I read about Jay Dilla. Not the most recent one, but from the series 33 1/3. This one's written by Jordan Ferguson. It was a really great insight into Jay Dilla's life, his creative process, and really the history of hip-hop and sampling itself. I learned a lot from that one. I also have to shout out SP Vids on YouTube. He really takes the intimidation out of using an SP and explains stuff so nicely. He might not realize it, but he taught me how to use an SP404. Solid sound packs too.
This is Jazz Ali, and you're listening to The Rec Show with Gldnmnd.
Check this out.
Tremendous cream, fuck a dollar and a dream. Still tote gas strapped with infrared beam.
When will I see you again?
Yeah, yo, so let me ask you this, man. From just, doing research and on your social medias and stuff like Bandcamps and all that type of stuff, man, you use like a 404, you use a SP555, right? And some modular gear as well. Can you to help create your magic? Can you go into detail like why these specific samplers, and then what's the one technique that has expanded your sound? If you're willing to share. I'm always each one teach one type of joint. You know what I mean?
There's something deeply primal about using an SP404 to carve out beats. Something about the push button make noise aspect really just gets into your lizard brain and sticks. I talk about this a lot. Like, an SP is a really limited tool, no doubt, but that's where the magic is. You end up finding goofy workarounds, to get around the limitations and get the sound that you want. And that skyrockets your creativity. Like, I've always been the type to enjoy puzzles, and I don't rest until I figure it out. If you're like that, you will love making beats on an SP. It's super gratifying. And tapping in a beat was a revelation for me. Rather than programming it on a screen with a mouse, you have to actually tap it with your hands and nail a performance. It might take like 20 tries, but then the trophy for that is the beat itself, the perfect loop. I always get a huge thrill out of that. I picked up an SP555 a long time ago, and I didn't really fire it up until recently. It's similar, yet different, kind of sitting somewhere between like the 303, the 404 OG, and an SX. It's really interesting to see the design decisions Roland made, in their SP samplers. I'm really enjoying the loop capture, and I'm experimenting with the effect memory. Also, shouts out to friend Carrick for making really nice 555 videos on YouTube. Funny thing, I actually don't own any modular equipment. You're probably referring to my patch bay. It kind of looks like a modular because I've got all the multicolored cables, but we should talk about that. My patch bay has been super useful from like early on. I got annoyed with always plugging and unplugging machines here and there, and I was getting kind of concerned about wear and tear. So that's where the patch bay comes in. Everything's wired up, and it's super easy to route audio from, an SP to another SP, or if you want to run your tape player or your turntable, it's just really easy to get audio from A to B. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I didn't even... Man, I thought it was a modular gear, but I gotta do my research on the patch bay now, man. So Thank you for that clarification, man. I just learned something new. I'm gonna do some research, and because I just got my SP404 Mark II, and now I got my machine, so I'm trying to figure out like how to use that along with the MXX audio apps and Koala apps, and trying to see if I can use all of that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, thank you, man. So, and let me ask you this: on your Bandcamp, you got 3 beat tapes. You got CBD, High Dive, and then Do Your Thing, which are, you know, all like lo-fi neck snappers. Listening to your beats, I feel like, you know, I kind of feel like I'm like on a cloud, like traveling through time, and stress is just letting go of me. You know what I mean? Like, so I gotta ask, like, what were your muses when you were making these? You know what I mean? Like, what was your muses and motivation? And then, can you speak about creating music during you know, the pandemic and its possible benefits to your creativity and resiliency? You know what I mean?
It's hard for me to say exactly what my motivation is. For me, making music is a way to sort out my more turbulent emotions, but they still remain unclear most of the time. In any case, I generally go by feeling. When I chop a sample and fit it over the drums just right, it creates this feeling. The best way to describe it is as it feels right. Like, I feel confident that it's supposed to be this way. Like, I listen to it and think, of course it's like this. Maybe the relaxation comes from the feeling like everything is in its place, so I don't need to worry. I don't know, maybe. Creating during the pandemic was probably more important than ever. For me anyway, having a focus helped me stay on track and kind of keep me away from like bad habits they're easy to fall into. One change for sure is I realized the value of live shows. Like, I feel like now I'm much less likely to pass on a show.
Yeah, man. Yo, that's a dope outlook, man. Yeah. When we talking about, like, I always ask this question because I just feel like, I mean, everybody took this, the pandemic differently. I mean, I handled it differently. The emotional toll, the mental toll, like, it was just different. So, you know, it's interesting to hear how, you know, different people dealt with it and how they persevered and are still creating the music that they want to create, and, you know, all that type of stuff, man. So thank you. So let me ask you this. The 4 pillars of hip-hop: DJing, MCing, breaking, and graphing. Which element did you begin your journey with, and how did it affect your life when you discovered one of those pillars?
For me, it was DJing. I started spinning house and minimal techno in college. I was really into the technical side of it. Beat matching especially kind of teaches you how to really, really focus in and listen to music. And also looking for new tracks. You know, you always have an ear out for interesting sounds. You know, straight up asking the people at the store what song is playing right now before Shazam, that sort of thing. It also fostered my love of making music with my hands. I'm definitely a hands-on kind of guy, and once I got the 404, you know, things really clicked. Even now, I try to structure my beat sets kind of like a DJ. I have all my tracks, I tap out the BPM, and I sort of think about increasing the energy slowly and dropping it off. You know, that approach is still around. Eventually, I'd like for my live sets to get more elaborate and probably be more like a DJ set with all my music.
Yo, man, like, one of my pillars has always been, it was DJing, but it was always the production. Like, when I was a kid, I was always looking at who produced this record. I was a big Rough Rider fan, yo. So, Swiss Beats, Gldnmnd, like, a whole bunch of different people, man. I think Bink was on a lot of them joints, too. Yeah, man, but it ain't about me. Yo, so, let me ask you this. This is a new game I created called Superheroes. Dun, 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 dun. You play it by naming your childhood, teenager, and adult beat maker superheroes. You know what I mean? Your beat maker superhero, music producer superhero. So, and then you just tell us like why they were so important at those specific times in your life. And major key alert. No genre is off limits, man. It's for, it's to help people do some research on, different genres and different people that they might not have known about and get some jewels, you know what I mean?
Ooh, I like this question. Okay, as a kid, I was big into the Chemical Brothers. They were probably the first band I was into that wasn't like guitars, bass, drums. I first heard them playing Wipeout XL for PlayStation 1. Like, it's the funkiest, most futuristic music I'd ever heard at the time. Like, I was instantly hooked. In my late teens, I got really into minimal techno and house. I was big into Richie Houghton and all the artists on his Minus record label. I was astounded at how hard they could rock a dance floor without, resorting to ginormous drops or using a lot of lush instrumentation. I was also fascinated with the array of samplers, MIDI controllers, and gear that Richie would use to play out. I realized he was doing live arrangements more so than straight DJing. Nowadays, I'm most inspired by jazz, especially from the 50s and 60s. I like to joke that I became an accidental jazz head since I enjoyed using jazz samples the most. It's just, there's something magical, emotional, and just wildly experimental about it. It's a wholly American art form that's really something to be proud of. I also have to shout out everyone in the beatmaker community. I mean, that's really where I get 90% of my inspiration. My peers, y'all are so talented.
Every single one of these, these beat makers, these mutants, I like to call them mutants now, man, because, everybody got their superpower, Like, every single one of them got their superpower and be flipping it and be making it their own, and it sound good, man. Like, man, I'm proud of the community, man. I'm new to this. I've only been doing it for about 3-4 years now, I think. But, all the people that I'm tapped into now, and I'm just learning so much. And then the Twitter community, the Instagram community, all the people doing amazing stuff around the globe. You know what I mean? The beat sets and curating beat sets and beat shows and all that stuff, man. Yo, like, it's amazing to see, man. So I'm proud of the beat community, man. You know what I mean? Beat culture, you feel me? But so listen, I gotta ask, you know how there's connections between like music and basketball, or like, you know what I mean, or anything else like that, like connections between two different things. So you're an avid weightlifter, and you use analog gear, and you're an engineer, right? So can you tell us like how music, fitness, engineering work together for you and your creative process and of expression?
It's funny. It feels like making music for the past 4 years has been a process of unlearning my typical kind of engineering sort of thinking and letting my feelings do the driving instead. I try to strike a balance, I'm searching for that feeling, but I still approach music like problem solving, and I try to be efficient where I can. I like to learn a machine inside and out. I am absolutely the type to read a manual cover to cover and refer back to it often. I've always been interested in building electronics. Started out tinkering with MIDI controllers, but recently it's shifted over to repairing samplers. I'm really happy to have a way to give back to the community and just trying to keep the magic alive. Lifting weights is a surprisingly introspective activity. There's a lot of focus on breath control and checking in with how your body is feeling. I don't know. It feels like there's a similar self-reflection that kind of goes into making music. At the end of the day, it keeps me in good mental and physical health. I think that's crucial to stay at your most creative.
Yeah, man, yo, you gotta keep the mentals, keep the body sharp, keep the mind sharp. You know what I mean? Keep your other different faculties sharp as well. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. Yo, it's a different, different aspect on expression and connection between expressions and stuff like that. So, but yo, you perform beat sets for like showcases like Flamingo, Katina, Beats and Beer, like a whole bunch of different other ones as well. But can you talk about what that live experience feels like, and can you name some of the other beat makers associated with these showcases? Are there other ways to connect with people in your area, other like-minded beat makers and producers around the Lone Star State, in Austin, Texas?
Hearing music live is when I feel most inspired. Through a good sound system, the track can really breathe and stretch out. It is such a great privilege to be able to play music for people, a rare chance to purely do your own thing. I'm always grateful for the opportunity. I usually get jitters beforehand, but I'm learning to let go and just enjoy myself. There's so many great beat makers in Austin. Acclimated Assassin, Black Da Vinci, Pursue, Spellworks. I mean, even across the Lone Star State, there's a ton of talent. Yo Cisco Kid, Still Do, Coronado out of Dallas, Dr. Guava, Robot Fingers, Redo Co. out of Houston, Impressionable Sound out in El Paso, Jay Nautic in San Antonio. This is hard. I'm leaving out so many people. Long story short, Texas rolls deep.
Guys like us, discuss like Spartacus. You cuss, you claim the bust. You lust for a part of us. You must but can't touch. Plus we far from any type of fellas you can trust.
Yo, this is Court Jock. She's checking out the Rec Show with my homie Gldnmnd.
Yeah, man, yo, y'all listening to a specially curated beat set by the one and only SUMA.wav. Episode number 42 of The Rec Show. If you like what you hear, man, go ahead, subscribe, follow this, support on Bandcamp, share this on your social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, any other ones that I might not even know about. But yo, we vibing right now, man. I know y'all, this is dope, man. Yo, so I appreciate SUMA.wav for even saying yes again, man. We're gonna get right back into it. Yo, so let me ask this, man. Like, Bandcamp is, just came out with some special news. I think it was last week about Epic Games or something like that. But let me just ask you, like, you're a Bandcamp and digital streaming platform user. So how do you think beat makers can benefit from using platforms like these and, emerging tech such as Web.3 or Web3, cryptocurrencies and blockchains, blockchain technology?
I think blockchain technology is remarkable, and it's kind of amazing what people have been able to do with the public ledger and smart contracts. Having said that, I'm not focusing much of my energy on it, and this isn't a value judgment. It's just I'm not generally the type to jump on the newest technologies. I'm more interested in cassettes and mini discs.
Yo, me me too, man. I've been recently getting my cassette collection up, man. If anybody already know, man, the people I usually have on the show, if y'all got cassettes, man, I'm a big cassette head right now. And then I just saw something on Twitter yesterday or the day before that about mini discs. So I'm looking at hard offs in Japan and thrift shops for like mini disc players and how to make that work and all that type of stuff, man. So, but that's dope, man. That's crazy that you said that. All right, so what should the internets, SUMA.wav, what should the internets look out for from you in the rest of 2022? Well, you're only in the second quarter of 2022. We're jumping into it right now, but how can the internets tap into you, your music, plug into your socials, like any new projects, collaborative projects, beat sets that you might be doing, any of that stuff, man? Go ahead and plug it at this time,
More beats, more beat videos, and hopefully more shows. I expect to change my live setup this year. I'd like to use Ableton Live in conjunction with an SP404. I'd also like to get back to making long-form repair videos as well. You can find me on Instagram as @SUMA.wav, on Twitter as @SUMA_WAV, and on YouTube as SUMA.wav, just one word.
Yeah, y'all heard the man, SUMA.wav, SUMA.wav. Yo, man, y'all tap into him. Yeah, man, thank you, SUMA.wav, for being on the show. I appreciate you, man. Yo, y'all tap into SUMA.wav. All the links to what he's talking about is going to be in the description of this podcast, man. Check it out on Apple, Spotify. Go to specifically the Bandcamp, though. Support on Bandcamp directly, man. And yeah, man, all the other podcast, digital streaming platforms that you get your podcast from. Yeah, go and subscribe, share it, all that type of jazz, man. But yo, thank you, SUMA.wav, for tapping in and being on episode number 42 of The Rec Show. We went from Japan to Austin, Texas, man. We got a couple other guests that's going to be from Texas as well, man. I was getting ready to say it. I can't say it though, but yo, right now we're going to get into a few more songs of SUMA.wav's, man. No more talking, but I want to thank y'all for tapping in, man. Count y'all blessings, not y'all problems, man. And just let y'all know, man, I appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all taking care of your mentals. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Still wash them hands. Still take care of yourself, man. And yeah, man, we'll be back, man, next week. Episode number 43 is next week, yo. Peace and love, yo.
Like you.
Check this out.
I'm ballsy. I don't take no shit from anyone. I smoke my stogie anywhere I want. I don't have to find a hideout place like you. Because I'm a stud.
What up, everyone? This is Goodfoot from New Jersey, and you're plugged into the Rec Show podcast with Gldnmnd. Peace.
represent every living person on the planet. The white lights are humans. And these are the mutants.
They tell like younger kids or other producers like that's cheating, you can't really accept it, but bro, like when it comes to this producing shit, you can do whatever you want.
You've been listening to the Rec Show podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Remember 3 things. Believe in your music. Take care of your mentals. Become the best version of yourself. Until the next one, Gldnmnd signing off. Peace and love, yo.
To be the best, you got to work overtime. To be the best, you got to work overtime.
These young boys getting better. This is not like the NBA when you can retire. Like this is, you have to keep going.